Hello everyone, I'm making this new PC, socket type LGA775, using ASUS P5Q SE Plus motherboard, Intel Core 2 Duo Quad 2.5 GHz CPU, ASUS DVD burner. I'm using Seagate 750 gig hard drive. I'm using Kingston 2 gig memory, using EVGA PCI Expert 2.0, 1 gigabyte video card, and Antec 650 watt power supply. And I'm also using this NZXT Apollo case. Pretty cool. So I'm going to go over each component separately. Okay, so this is NZXT Apollo case, ATX case, and I'm going to look at the feature of that. And it's a pretty cool case. It has on this side, let me move it over. Okay, we have several ports here. One of them is IEEE 1394 5-wire port. I don't have on this motherboard 5-wire, so I'm not going to use that. Then I have audio ports and 2 USB front ports. Okay, and let's see. Okay, and when you open you have several 5 1/4 drives spaces here, and you have 3.5 floppy drive space on the bottom. Okay, let's open the case up and see what we have in here. Very easy to open. It has this side window, very nice. It has 2 fans, one in the rear, one in the side, and it has the option of putting a fan in the front. It's 120 mm fan on the side and 120 mm fan in the back. Okay, so open these screws. Very easy. Open this one too. Okay, and this slides out. Okay. Alright, what have we got here? Okay, so that's the fan I was talking about. We have these are the 5 1/4 drives. You could put optical drives there, or if you have backup drive, you could put the backup drive there, or if you have any card reader, you could put it in there also. These one right here, they are floppy drive sockets, and the hard drive goes over here. So let's take this thing out. I have probably screws and other material, and this area is for installing hard drive, and we have what we got here. We probably have connection in there. I think one of the connection is power LED. Power LED is for the blue light that we have on the case. And then I'm gonna pause this for a second and then we'll restart. Okay, so I opened that thing. This is what we have in here. For front port, we have this connection. This one, these two. This one is for USB, and basically when you connect that, you will have as like 2 wires going out. You will have 2 ports in the front. And the other one I have is for 5-wire connection, and like I said, I don't have any no, I'm sorry, this is HD audio, not 5-wire, and this is AC97 audio. Okay, so this is for audio. 5-wire is right here. Connection. Okay. Yep. This is 5-wire, 1394. And then we have front panel connection. Now front panel, they go into the motherboard, and well, aside from front panel, I was talking about this connection going to the power supply for blue light in the front. Okay, then all these other connectors I have, these are for front panel into the motherboard. They go into, they are connection like power LED. Power LED, when you turn the computer on, you have switch, which is a power switch. You need a power switch for ATX, and when you press the button, power supply turns on, signal goes through the switch to the motherboard, and the motherboard is already connected to the power supply, so your computer turns on. They also have a reset switch. There is a button on the front. When you have to restart your computer without logging off, you could use a reset switch, so it sends a signal to the motherboard. Now all these things are connected to the power front panel of the motherboard, and there is a port there on the motherboard. Now the good thing in ASUS motherboards, they have Q connector. So basically each of these have a polarization. You have plus and minus, so you have to know exactly where you plug it in, and if you put it incorrectly, it's not going to work. So in ASUS motherboard you have Q connector. So in a Q connector, let me show you how that Q connector looks like. It's right here. Okay, and basically what you do, you connect all these wires here to these pins, and they're already polarized, and this way it gets connected to the motherboard, and you don't even have to really, because once you put the motherboard inside, it's very difficult to see which is plus, which is minus, so it works out pretty good. Okay, so now here you got all the ports where you have you put your video card on the port, and you have 3 PCI on the motherboard that you want any extension cards that go out, and it goes in the back. Okay, and this back here is the panel, is the back panel of the motherboard, which have port outside. Okay, so that's enough about this case. So let's talk about the motherboard. Let me pause this for a second. Okay, this is that motherboard. Okay, this is ASUS P5Q SE Plus. Alright, it's a socket, like I said, it's a socket 775, where it's compatible with the Intel Core CPU and Intel Core Core 2 Duo. Okay, right now it has a protective cover there on the CPU area. Okay, so we were talking about CPU. This socket, there's a cover there. I was trying to explain that why starting socket 775 with Intel Core 2 Duo and Intel Core 2 Duo Quad, the pin are right on the motherboard. They used to be on CPU, and CPU only have small sockets that goes on these pins, and it's the opposite. So in order to protect those pins, the cover is here. So we'll talk more about it when we talk about the CPU. Okay, it has dual core. It has dual channel memory. Like if you know, these are four slots for memory. The yellow one indicate if you put memory modules on these, there will be dual core. Similarly, if you put memory module in black, there will be a dual channel. That's what I meant to say, dual channel. Okay, what else in here? Okay, this is a power connector to the motherboard. This one here is a CPU power connector, 12 volt. Okay, as for talking about ports, this is PCI Express 16, which is for video card, and we have 2 PCI Express 1. Okay, they also could be used for video card. There's different video card with which have interface. Basically, it's an interface of video card to the motherboard and to the computer. Another good thing about these two PCI Express, that if you get two PCI Express exactly of same capacity, you put them here with a device that connect to both cards, you could utilize SLI capability of the video card, and which is also supported by the power supply. Okay, we got 3 PCI port for different again, it is an interface and used for different components, like if you want to put another extension card for USB, we could put it there. Like in this case, I have a FireWire, which is IEEE 1394 card, that can also be put on this one, and we could utilize it because IEEE 1394 is used to interface with video cameras. Okay, it has 6 serial ATA connection. We could use it for hard drive and optical drive, just like, you know, CD drive and DVD burner. Okay, so chipset, these two represent the north and south chipset. Okay, this is IDE connector, which is for hard drive. Okay, and this one is USB connector. Basically, we already have a built-in USB if I look at these back ports, but these are for like front port. We have one connector can go into 2 ports, so you have 2 other in case if you want to put another card here for USB, that's your connection right there. Or those cards will have a port in the back, so you don't even have to do that. Okay, also it has a serial port, it's called COM port. In some cases, like old equipment, like old external modem, you needed a serial port. Basically what you'll do, you'll put an extension card here and the connection will go in there. On the back of that extension card will be the connection to the serial port. Okay, what else in here? Okay, this is a front panel connector that I was talking about. These front panel connector, the one communicate with the motherboard in terms of something coming from the power supply, that the signal goes through here, and we're going to use a Q connector to connect to it. Alright, this is a floppy connector. Okay, and what else do we have in here? Okay, that's about it. So let's talk about the back of the motherboard to show ports. Alright, okay, we got audio ports, 8-channel audio. Okay, so we could utilize that. This is a LAN, which is a gigabit LAN. You could utilize 100 megabits or 1000 megabits, depending on your router and depending on your connection. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 USB ports. You have PS2 mouse connection, PS2 keyboard connection if you have that, and this is optical audio connection. Okay, so that's about it. Okay, this is the power supply I was telling everyone before. Okay, it's 650 watt Antec power supply. It has lots of connections. This is the one for power connection to the motherboard, as I was showing that circuit. We have several we have several serial ATA connection here. We have, this is a power fan, connection, as I was explaining, that will go into the motherboard. And basically the hard drive and optical drive, the DVD burner that I'm going to connect, we're going to use the not that one, we're going to use the, no, this is a regular connection, it's not a serial, this is serial ATA, and we can use extension too, but we have a couple of them in here that I can't see right now, but I know I have them. Okay, and yeah, that's about it for power supply. Okay, this is the hard drive, Seagate 750 gig hard drive I was talking about. It has serial ATA connection, serial ATA power will go over here, and the data connection will go over there. That's all about it. That's it. There's nothing else to do, and when we install it, we'll talk more about it. Okay, and this is the memory that I'm putting 1 gig module, so in a dual channel. It's Kingston. Okay, it's a compatible 1066 megahertz memory, compatible with that. You have to find that out before you put it on the motherboard, but I already had that, and that's why I got that motherboard, because it was compatible with that. Okay, and the only thing left is a video card. Okay, I'm gonna open that and I'll show you that. Okay, this is the video card I was talking about. Okay, it's EVGA 9500 GT. It's a PCI Express 16 2.0 card. It has 1 gigabyte memory, and let's see what we got. Oh, some. Okay. Basically, it has two DVI connection here, and it has a connection for HD connection. In case you want to use it, we have cable for that. And that's how it's going to go. It's going to be using this is the interface. You're not supposed to touch it. This is the interface that goes into PCI Express and goes in there. Okay, now this is that ASUS DVD burner that I'm going to be installing in there as optical drive. This is CPU fan. Now CPU fan is going to sit on the top of CPU. It has some kind of paste that provide the thermal interface between the CPU and the fan, and provide cooling. And this CPU get connected to CPU fan area of the motherboard, and this is that CPU I was telling you, Core 2 Duo Quad 2.5 gigahertz. Now let's start installing things one by one. Okay, what I'm going to do now, before we do anything, I'm going to install the power supply and install the hard drive in here, and DVD burner over here. Okay, and after that we'll prepare the motherboard for CPU and CPU fan and memory. Okay. Okay, we're going to install the power supply. It's very simple. Put the power supply here. Okay. And okay, like that. And on the back, the 4 screw, I'm going to put those 4 screws, and this is installed. Okay, so power supply is installed. Now we're going to install the hard drive. Basically, we're going to use these to put it right there in hard drive, and then we're just going to can you hold on to the camera? Okay, basically we're going to put it like that. Okay, and okay, now we're going to just slide this in. That's all. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to install the DVD burner. Before I do that, There's a 5 1/4 tab that I'm gonna take it out, which covers from the front. So basically there's a little tab right there and a little tab on the bottom. Oh, two came off, so I'll just put the other one back. Alright. Okay. Alright, so we have a tab open, and now I'm going to slide this is a Serial ATA DVD burner. I'm just going to slide it in the first slot. Oh, from the front. Okay, that's what I have to do. Okay. Oops. All right. I have to do that. Alright, it's in. Okay, basically I will have to push this in and lock it this way. It's not going anywhere, and it's screwless, so it's pretty good. Installed. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to prepare the motherboard. First we're going to install the CPU, and I'll install the fan before I put it into the case. It would be easier to do it while it's outside, otherwise it gets very difficult. And then I'll install the memory modules, and basically that's it before installing the motherboard right in the case. So let's do the CPU first. Okay, let me take out this temporary plate. It comes off easily. Okay, and for any case, if I have to return this motherboard, this have to be put it back in order to protect the pins right there. Okay, now lift the tab. Okay, this is a CPU, and okay, so let's open the CPU. I want to discharge any static by holding on to the metal that's connected to power. This way there is no static, and it would be better if you have a static strap on you. So this is a very delicate part where you have to make sure that you don't touch any pin. Okay, so basically there's a load plate, so we have to lift the load plate also before we can install the CPU. Okay, now we're going to align the pin 1 to the bottom left hand side. As you see, there's an indication of pin 1, which also indicate a missing pin at the corner. And as if you could see on the socket itself, there's a missing pin right there. So basically it has to align, and that's it. It's in its place. You close the plate and you close the lever, and your CPU is installed. Okay, so now we're going to install the thermal heat sink fan right on the top of the CPU. Open this package. Okay. Alright, there's a thermal paste already applied on it, so I don't have to do anything. I just have to put this right on the top of, since this thing is this way, so I'm going to move the thermal heat sinks right there. Make sure that these 4 holes matches with it. I'm going to lift this thing right now. Sure that it goes into the 4 holes. Okay, we have it. Okay, now I'm going to press these 1. Okay, Okay. And alright, okay. You heard the pin noise. That means that this thing is installed. Alright, now I'm going to install this CPU fan. Let's see, this is it going to be. No, maybe this should have been on this side, but it's okay. Alright, we're going to install the CPU fan right there. And we're going to move them, move the wire over here so that it won't get tangled with anything else. Okay, now install the memory. Very easy. Okay, I'm going to install it in a dual channel. Like I said before, that these two yellow represent if I install the memory module on these. Okay, so this will be a dual channel. Make sure the tabs are open on both sides. Okay, if you notice here, you have more pins on this side than that side. So look at your memory, you have more pins on this side than the right side, so there's a right polarization. Okay, basically you'll install slide the memory on the corner, on each corner. Okay, then press it firmly then until it snaps. One on this side. Okay, it's done. Let's do the second module. We'll do the same thing here. Right polarization. Okay, make sure the tabs are open on both sides. Okay, slide it in from left, slide it from right, slide it in from left. Okay, and then we'll make sure you give a support from the back. As long as you have the static discharge, it should be okay. And firmly press this side, and give a support from the bottom. Firmly press this side until it snaps. Okay, memory modules are installed. So motherboard is now prepared to be installed into the case. Okay, another thing is I already installed these things before. Before I installed the motherboard right into the case, we had to install these, we had to align the motherboard with the holes on the case and install these seats. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seats, so I already installed these seats, and the motherboard is going to sit right on the top of that, and we're just going to screw right into these seats. Okay, before we install the motherboard right into the case, I want to do the Q connector for the front panel. Like I said before, in order to communicate the switch from the case into the motherboard, into the power supply, you need to have these connectors connected to the motherboard. So let's do the Q connector. On this one, I need to do reset and ground on these two pins. So let me find the reset switch here. And okay, this is a reset switch. One. Okay, now okay, the ground one is on the corner, so we have to make sure what is the plus one. As you see over here, this indicator indicates the pin 1, which is plus. So it's going to be, plus is going to be connected here, and the ground is going to be connected here. So that's how it is connected. Let me make sure. It says plus. Okay, fine. So reset switch is connected. Then the next thing is power and ground. The switch itself, which gives the power to the motherboard, is I believe this is the one. This is LED. Okay, this is the power switch. Okay, again, plus and minus, power and ground. So I have to make sure that this one is Need a flashlight to check that. Okay, as you could see, the plus is right there with the arrow pointed up, diamond. Okay, and this is going to be like that. Okay, now we have to connect IDE LED, where you see the activity of a hard drive, which is right here. That is connected to, again, plus is on the corner, minus over here. So this side is a plus, so this is going to be okay. Right, now this side, power LED. Power LED actually is right here, plus and minus. Okay, it's even label on this one. Okay, so which one is plus? Plus is right at the corner, and the minus one is on the side. Okay, so we'll connect plus this way. Okay, so that we can see. And the minus one is connected here. Okay, we don't have any speakers, so we're not going to connect the speakers. And the only thing left from the case front area is LED for light, the blue light that comes out from the front. So we'll connect that later to the power supply. Okay, so everything is connected, so now it's the time to get the... Oh, before I do anything with the USB, I also have a connector which connects right into the motherboard properly. So basically they are labeled, and you can see the pin also. The way the pin is, the corner is totally blocked, there is nothing there, so it has to go that way. And this pin over there says not connected. As you see in there is no pin there, so fine, we connect that, and now it can be easily connected into the motherboard because of this notch, so we won't have to worry about it. We can just connect it this way right into the motherboard. Okay, so we're going to, before we install the motherboard again, I gotta put the back plate into the connector of the back of the motherboard, so this way it's flush right against the case. On the case, so we better do it this way. Okay, it's installed in the case, the back panel. Okay, so let's install the motherboard now. Okay, as I have done that, all these holes, the seats align with the motherboard hole, so all I have to do, I have to put a screw there to secure the motherboard right into the case. Okay, so I'm going to do, the motherboard is in there. I'm going to do a few of the things here, like the Q connector that I created before. I'm going to install that one. Looking over there, okay. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to install the front panel Um, okay, so Q connector is connected, and my next thing is going to be to install the audio. I'm gonna put the audio HD, and basically it's going to be right, let's see, okay, it's gonna go that way. Okay, installed. Now the next thing left is USB. I already provided the connector for USB, so it's very easy. Plug it in right there. Okay, this one is connected too. Later on we'll tape everything so that all the wires will be manageable here. Okay, so I want to move away the power supply wires. Okay, oh, one more thing. The power fan connector that's coming from power supply, I'm going to connect it right there where it says power fan. Okay, all right. Okay, now we're going to make some power connection. First of all, power connection to the motherboard. As you see, you can't miss such a big connection. This goes into the power supply of the motherboard. Okay, it's connected. Now, okay, we have these two fan connection that will connect it. We'll connect one fan right now, and one is a side fan. We'll connect it later. So okay, and this is for the side fan, so we'll connect it later. Okay, we have to connect hard drive and DVD burner. Okay. Right. We don't use this. We don't use this. So anything we don't use, we're gonna tape it back. We're gonna use that one. This is gonna for the hard drive, and basically this is gonna be for the DVD burner. Okay, so since we don't use these, let's put them back. Oh, another thing is I forgot to connect this 12 volt power, which after tying this up I will connect it. We have to do a lot of power management, we have to do a lot of wire management, I should say, after I finish with this thing. Alright, so this is a 12 volt power supply connection, which is going to go right in the corner here. Okay. Alright, it's connected there. To make sure that it's behind the fan so that it doesn't affect with any fan here. I may have to put a tape on the top of it to do the management right now. Okay. Alright. We have to watch for this later. Okay. Basically, we had... Oh, we didn't need this one either. So let me open this up and put this back with that too. Okay, so now we're going to connect this front blue light connection to the power supply, and that's connected. Okay, and let me try to put it underneath all the wires here. Okay, and now we have our power connection into the DVD burner. Okay, this is serial ATA connection. It can only go one way. Right, send. Okay, now the data connection will do later. Okay, same thing we'll do to the hard drive here. Since only one hard drive, I'm not going to put the other one in. And okay, send. You can move the wire in there for better management. Okay, now let's do the data connection for both for the hard drive and the DVD burner. The data cable for serial ATA. Okay, this one usually is for the hard drive because of connection this way, so we'll do this later. We'll do the connection to DVD burner. Okay, this also can only go one way, so this is on the motherboard, serial ATA 2, and serial ATA 1 I'm going to connect hard drive, and right there. Okay, so our DVD burner is connected. Remember, we got to do the fan, side fan, later on when we connect the side fan. Okay, so let's do the hard drive. Okay, to the motherboard and to the hard drive itself. Okay, so data is connected. Let's see what we have not connected so far. Everything is connected except that power side panel fan. Okay, now we could install the extension card, which means these are the extension cards. So the only extension card that we're going to do at this time will be the video card, and then we'll power up the system to see how it goes. Alright, so we're going to connect the video card. So let me take out the one of the back panel here. Press on this button, this slides out. Take out this one, so that make a room for our extension card, which is a video card. And this video card, I don't believe any power it needs any power. No, it does not need any power. Otherwise some video card needs a power from power supply. Okay, so let's make sure we align it properly, and just once it's aligned, just press and that's it. You push this back and this is secure, and we're going to put the screw there. And that will be it in terms of the video card. And then we'll, without putting the side panel, we're going to connect it to the monitor and connect the power supply, connect the actual power there, keyboard and mouse, and then we'll boot up the system to see if it boots up to BIOS. Oh, by the way, BIOS. Come over here. There's a BIOS chips, which is basic input-output system. All computer motherboard have that, and basically it has basic information. It says basic input-output system. It shows what kind of chipset it has, what kind of memory it supports, and what CPU it has, and it has basic information. And from there, after that information, the transfer is given to the operating system, which is going to be on a hard drive after we install Windows 7 on it. Okay, we're going to plug it in. Everything is connected. We're going to plug it in to make sure everything works. And let's try it. And we're going to hit the delete key to get into BIOS mode right away. Yeah, okay. So we're good. We're good. Make sure everything is set up. It is detecting serial ATA, which is hard drive, right there, and it is detecting. Okay. It is detecting the DVD burner. Okay, and so let's make sure that we have the temperature, temperature of CPU and motherboard is okay. All right. Okay. Right now, CPU temperature is 30 degrees, which is good, centigrade, and motherboard temperature is 32. Good. All right. Escape that, and everything looks good. Escape. We go to the main screen and set up our time. And basically what I'll do, I'll set up time, and we'll save all the setting, and then we'll install the operating system.